Letting go of control. 7 Buddhist insights that will change your life forever. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, life just isn't going the way you planned? Like you're swimming against the current, pushing and pushing. But no matter how tightly you hold on, everything just keeps slipping away. I remember talking to a close friend of mine a few months ago. Let's call him Alex. He had this perfect career plan. He worked long hours, stayed up late, micromanaging every detail. He thought that if he just pushed harder, everything would fall into place. But the more he tried to control it, the more overwhelmed he became. His relationships started to fall apart. His health was deteriorating, and the success he was chasing seemed further and further away. Alex was lost, and to be honest, I've been there too, caught up in the pressure of holding on so tightly, thinking that everything depended on me. But it wasn't until Alex had a breakthrough that things started to change. One day, he realized something important. He couldn't control everything. He let go of his need to control every little detail. He stopped micromanaging his team and trusted that things would unfold. Ironically, that's when everything started falling into place. Opportunities came without him forcing them. He found peace within himself, not because he controlled everything, but because he allowed life to take its course. Now, I want you to think about your own life. When was the last time you felt like everything was slipping through your fingers? When did you feel like no matter how hard you tried, things just didn't work out? We all struggle with this, trying to control our careers, relationships, and even our emotions. We believe that if we hold on tighter, everything will fall into place. But what if the key to true freedom isn't about holding on more tightly, but letting go? In today's video, we're diving into a profound concept from Buddhist philosophy: how letting go can actually lead us to inner peace, clarity, and freedom. Stick with me until the end, because I'll share a life-changing lesson that could shift everything for you. Lesson 1: the illusion of control and the power of letting go. Control, it's something we all crave. We want to control every detail of our lives, our relationships, careers, emotions. We think that if we just manage everything perfectly, we'll find happiness and security. But here's the catch. The tighter we hold on, the more things tend to slip through our fingers. This paradox is central to Buddhist wisdom. The Buddha's teachings on non-attachment remind us that the more we try to control things, the more we create resistance. Non-attachment doesn't mean withdrawing from life or becoming indifferent. On the contrary, it means allowing life to unfold naturally and trusting that things will work out without our constant intervention. Take a moment to think about your life. How many times have you tried to control a situation, only to feel more anxious and burdened? The truth is, control is an illusion. The more we try to force things, the more we disconnect from what truly matters. I've been there myself. I once worked tirelessly on a project, meticulously planning every detail. But the more I tried to control it, the more frustrated I became. Finally, I let go and trusted the process. And guess what? The project started flowing effortlessly. It was as though life was waiting for me to stop forcing it, to stop fearing failure, and simply trust the process. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about releasing the need to control every outcome. It's about allowing life to surprise you and trusting that things will fall into place in their own time. Lesson 2: the paradox of detachment. In today's world, success is often measured by what we own, who we control, or how many accomplishments we rack up. We attach our self-worth to these things, thinking that the tighter we hold on, the more secure we'll feel. But here's the truth. The more we hold onto these things, the more we feel weighed down. This is where detachment comes in. In Buddhist philosophy, detachment doesn't mean withdrawing from life or giving up on our goals. It means engaging fully with life, but without trying to control the outcome. It's like flying a kite. If you pull the string too tightly, the kite can't soar. It rises when you allow it to move freely with the wind. Reflect on your own life for a moment. How many times have you desperately clung to a dream or goal, only to watch it slip further away? The more you try to force it, the more it seems to get out of reach. But when you release your expectations and allow things to unfold naturally, you might find that your dreams align with you in unexpected and beautiful ways. For me, the greatest growth in my career came when I stopped obsessing over a perfect path. Instead, I opened myself up to new possibilities. Instead of pushing forward with rigid plans, I allowed life to surprise me, and the right opportunities came when I least expected them. But here's where we can draw an important lesson. Have you ever heard the story of the bamboo tree? The bamboo tree spends years underground, with its roots growing deeper and deeper, before it breaks through the surface. For the first few years, you see nothing at all. It's almost as if it's dormant, but when the time is right, it shoots up rapidly, growing over 80 feet tall in a matter of weeks. The bamboo tree doesn't rush. It understands that growth takes time, and that everything will unfold when the time is right. We, too, must allow ourselves to grow at our own pace, trusting that the foundation we are building today will support us tomorrow. Lesson 3: why caring too much can hurt more than help. Caring deeply about someone or something is natural, but when we care too much, we risk suffocating what we're trying to protect. This is the challenge of attachment. When we become overly attached to an outcome or person, we begin to define ourselves by it. We think that if we don't control it, we'll lose it. I've experienced this myself, especially in my relationships, when I tried to control every aspect, whether with family, friends, or romantic partners. I wasn't truly connecting with them. I was so focused on making everything perfect that I lost the authenticity of those relationships. Buddha teaches that attachment isn't just about things, it's about our need to be needed. We tie our worth to how much others depend on us, and in doing so, we risk becoming emotionally drained and overburdened. Think about a time when you tried to save a relationship or a goal. By controlling every aspect of it, did it bring peace, or did it leave you feeling overwhelmed? Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is to step back and let the other person or situation unfold naturally. True love, care, and success come from showing up without expectation. When we stop clinging to the outcome, we allow love, creativity, and true connection to grow freely. Lesson 4: the quiet power of the whatever mindset. In a world that constantly pushes us to strive, achieve, and compete, what if true power lies not in controlling everything, but in simply accepting life as it is? This is the essence of the whatever mindset, deeply rooted in Buddhist wisdom. The whatever mindset isn't about being passive or indifferent. It's about accepting life as it is. Imperfections, chaos, and all. Like a river, we can either fight the current, or we can allow ourselves to move with it. When I first embraced this mindset, I stopped reacting to every disturbance. I stopped thinking that every challenge would derail my life. Instead, I learned to respond with calm and presence. And guess what? Peace didn't come from resisting life. It came from accepting it and moving through it with grace. Life's unpredictability is a natural part of the process. The more we resist, the more we suffer. But when we accept and adapt to the flow of life, we find peace even in the midst of chaos. Lesson 5. Surrender the hidden strength within. Surrender is often seen as weakness. But in Buddhist teachings, it's actually one of the greatest acts of strength. Surrender doesn't mean giving up on life or abandoning your goals. It means trusting that life will unfold in its own time and way. Imagine a boat trying to paddle upstream. The more it struggles, the more it gets stuck. But once it surrenders to the current, it moves effortlessly downstream. I've experienced this in my own life. There was a time when I clung tightly to a business idea that wasn't taking off. Instead of surrendering, I fought it, trying to make it work on my timeline. But when I let go of my expectations and trusted life's timing, new opportunities aligned with my true purpose. Surrender isn't about giving up. It's about trusting the process. When you stop forcing things, the right opportunities will come to you, often in ways you least expect. Lesson 6. Embracing groundlessness, the secret path to inner freedom. The fear of groundlessness, the fear of uncertainty, is something we all experience. But in Buddhist philosophy, groundlessness is actually the fertile space for growth and transformation. Think of a tree shedding its leaves in autumn. It doesn't fight the change. It knows that in order to grow, it must first stand bare. Similarly, in our lives, we must let go of the old to make space for something new. But it's not just trees that understand the power of change. The eagle, a bird known for its immense strength, also undergoes a harsh process to be reborn. When the eagle reaches a certain age, it faces a crucial choice. It must shed its beak, replace its feathers, and sometimes even remove its talons to survive. This process is painful, but it is the only way for the eagle to continue soaring, to be reborn. Reflect for a moment. Have you ever felt like you're holding on to something that no longer serves you? Just like the eagle, we too must let go of old habits, outdated beliefs, or even relationships that are no longer aligned with who we are becoming. It's in the act of shedding the old, just like the eagle or the tree, that we open ourselves up to growth and transformation. Sometimes we must embrace groundlessness, the uncertainty of letting go, in order to give ourselves the space to evolve. We might fear what will happen if we let go, but it is often only by letting go that we can grow. Like the eagle that emerges from its painful process with renewed strength, we too can find our wings when we allow ourselves to change. True growth comes when we embrace the unknown. The more we cling to certainty, the more we resist change. But when we let go of the need for security, we unlock a deeper wisdom within ourselves. Lesson 7. The power of patience and timing. In life, we often feel stressed when things aren't going according to plan. But in many cases, what we need isn't to control everything, but patience and understanding that everything has its own timing. Imagine planting a seed. You can't force it to grow faster. You can't make the tree shoot up right away. Instead, you have to patiently nurture it. And in time, it will grow. The same applies to our lives. Success, relationships, goals, they all require time to develop. We often get impatient, especially when we see others succeeding. But the truth is, if we can learn to be patient and trust that everything will unfold when the time is right, we will realize that patience is not just waiting. It's part of the process of personal growth. Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors, is a perfect example of the power of patience. He is often quoted saying, "The stock market is a device for for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Buffett's journey wasn't a quick rise to fame or wealth. He spent decades patiently studying businesses, making strategic investments, and most importantly, letting his investments grow over time. Buffett famously invested in companies like Coca-Cola, American Express, and Geico, and he held onto them for years, allowing them to flourish while resisting the urge to sell at the first sign of market volatility. His wealth didn't come from constantly buying and selling, but from being patient and allowing time to work in his favor. Patience doesn't mean inaction, it means trusting the process and understanding that the right results will come at the right time. Just like Warren Buffett allowed his investments to grow over decades, we must allow our personal growth, relationships, and goals to develop over time. Patience isn't about waiting idly. It's about believing in the process and giving things time to evolve naturally. So what have we learned today? Letting go isn't about surrendering. It's about aligning with life's natural flow. It's about realizing that control is an illusion, and that true peace comes from embracing the present moment. When you release the need to control every outcome, you'll find everything falls into place. As you move forward today, ask yourself, where can you let go just a little more? What's weighing you down that no longer serves you? Let life take the lead, and watch how things unfold with ease. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What's one thing you're ready to let go of? Your words could inspire someone else on their journey. Remember, everything you need is already within you. Trust yourself, trust the process, and let go. Watch as life unfolds exactly as it was meant to.